Hi, everyone, and welcome to High School Football America's podcast this week featuring Phil Stambaugh, the head coach of the Pius X Royals. And Phil, welcome in, and a big week for you. I mean, obviously, 2 weeks ago, you got to take over your first camp as a head coach, and now this week you're getting ready for your first ever game. So let's just kind of back up in the week that was. You had a scrimmage on Saturday against Wilson, and you said that went pretty well.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. The week was a lot better for us, and you know that really showed against Wilson. We had a very good week of practice. We went into our doubles and finished up our doubles by week's end, and we had a great scrimmage with Wilson. I was very pleased with the making corrections on the mistakes that we made against Catasauqua in scrimmage one, and then coming out and really going after Wilson from the get-go.
Now, one of the things that you had in Wilson is you have a much bigger program that you took on. They're a 3A school. They've obviously done some things at the state level. A great coach, a big passing attack just like you guys. Maybe let's talk about playing those bigger schools, because you'll have those sprinkled throughout your schedule this year too, as you always have in the past. How does that help your team get ready for districts, for example? And I don't want to go too far ahead and say we're looking at playoffs, but how does that sort of competition help the team?
Yeah, I mean, we're no stranger to playing schools bigger than us. I mean, we're one of the smallest in the whole country probably with 11-man football. So we take those challenges as they come, and Wilson is a recognized program. They won a state title, finished second in the last 10 years, and that's a challenge that we like to go after, and it's always a positive for us to do well in that scrimmage leading into our season. It really gives the kids a good jump start, and hey, we could play with the best schools in the area, and then we take on our competition as the season comes, which is anyone from single A up through 4A.
Now let's talk a little bit about the preparation this week. You have Pottstown coming up on Saturday as the season opener, also your home opener. And, as you go through camp, you've had 2 weeks of two-a-days, so you've pretty much had your fingerprints on these kids throughout. Now you've got school starting this week and obviously just practicing after school. So how does that kind of change the makeup? How do you shift gears to get them more in season mode?
Yeah, we'll shift into our school schedule now that the kids are back. The freshmen started today, and the sophomores to the seniors go tomorrow. So everybody will be in school by Wednesday. And, that throws a different dynamic into it because they have, a lot more on their plate throughout the day instead of just football. So my job is to, when they come down and get into our weight room after school and our study hall after school, I got to get that focus right to football so that when we hit the field at 4 o'clock, that everything is pointed towards Pottstown and winning our home opener.
Well, before we get into kind of talking about Pottstown and wrapping up, I just there was one negative that happened this past week. It actually happened after the Catasauqua scrimmage. You lost a pretty good leader, it looks like, in Zach Sinelli, who we saw on the video was elected one of the co-captains of the team. Can you kind of tell what happened to him and why he may be lost for the season?
Losing Zach is a big thing for us right now. He's a kid that's worked his whole life, to be a part of Pius football and dedicated a tremendous amount of time to this program. And to see him go down with a knee injury is really, it's tough for us right now. We're hoping that something may change for Zach, but right now it's looking like he's going to be done for the year. And I've had a lot of opportunity to talk with him and say, you're still a leader on this team, and I hope he takes that to heart because he is. He's a recognized leader, not only on the field but in the weight room and off the field in his, the way he conducts himself. And it's not an easy thing for a 17-year-old to go through, and he's got a lot of things going through his mind. But hopefully we could show him support and any leadership that he can give us from the sideline or whatever capacity he gets the opportunity to lead this team. I know that he'll do a great job with that.
Yeah, and having seen some of the stuff that he did during those first 3 days I was there, I have no doubt that the kid has the chops to get through this. And but you're right, it's a tough time. So let's just wrap up here. Pottstown coming up, a school that is bigger than Pius. And what do you know about him heading in?
It's Pottstown's AAA school. They play in the Pioneer League, pretty good league down outside of Philadelphia, District 1 team. They're going to come in. They lost a lot of their line, but the skill guys they have back are quality kids, and they got a big, tall wide receiver, DeJuan Matthews. They got two backs in their backfield, Mark Smith and Malik Brinkley, who who can run the ball very well, one off the wing and one right out of the backfield, and their quarterback returns also, Jeff Endy. So we have our hands full in this first game. We're going to have to shut down their offensive attack, which I think is the strength of their team, and I think if we can do that, our offense is going to be able to put some points up.
Well, we look forward to seeing you on Saturday, have you mic'd up and show the people Game 1 in your era at Pius X, and I would assume as we go away here, you probably are going to be working on some butterflies this week, even though you've been around this game for a while as your first game as a head coach.
Yeah, very anxious to get started, and I definitely want to get my career as head coach off on the right foot, and I think the kids will be very supportive in that. I know that they're very excited to get this ball rolling.
Sounds good. We'll see you on Saturday, Phil.